This week, several drivers announced their 2024 plans, but many questions still remain. How's it going, y'all? My name is Eric. Welcome to Out of the Groove. Happy Friday. Wanted to do a quick episode today to kind of tie this whole week together. Denny Hamlin on Monday signs a new contract with Joe Gibbs Racing. On Tuesday, Harrison Burton, it's reported, staying in the 21 car. Wednesday, Hunter Nemechek says he's going Cup racing with Legacy Motor Club. Thursday, yesterday, Ryan Truex, the younger brother of Martin Truex Jr., dropped this hint on social media. SkewCar on Twitter asked the question, since Hunter Nemechek is going full-time Cup racing in 24, that leaves a question. Who do you think will/should take over the number 20 JGR Xfinity Series entry next season? To which Ryan Truex simply replied with a emoji. I think my two favorite emojis are the emoji and then just the eyes. The eyes that are like, just kind of looking. Could mean anything. I love how open-ended both those emojis are. Gives us a chance to speculate here on the show. I don't know if Ryan Truex is hinting at anything real there, but Ryan Truex is absolutely a candidate to drive for Joe Gibbs Racing next season. He's made 6 starts in Xfinity this year. He finally broke through and got his first ever NASCAR win at Dover this past spring. He's got 2 other podium finishes in JGR Xfinity equipment this year, and he's been very straightforward, very open about his desire, his interest in going full-time with JGR in the future, trying to put together sponsorship. Before that tweet, the most recent tweet on Ryan Truex's timeline was this. Hello, yes, we're working to put together a full season, looking for partners at Joe Gibbs Racing to go after an Xfinity championship in 2024, open to any and all conversations. I don't know if Truex has finalized any deals with Joe Gibbs Racing, but it's clear that's his goal. He's been working towards driving full-time for Joe Gibbs Racing. I guess we'll have to wait and find out if his effort has been successful. But that tweet kind of came out of nowhere. Could mean a lot of things. So this week has continued to be sillier than the last, which was sillier than the week before that, sillier than that. Silly season is in full swing. Everyone's talking about it, including you all in my comments. Every video this week, my comments have been flooded with silly season speculation. So now it's time to take one of your comments from out of the crowd. And actually, I have kind of an announcement to make first. I've gotten a ton of great comments recently. I've enjoyed reacting to individual comments here and there on Out of the Crowd. But my friends at dailydownforce.com recently offered to give me a regular platform to respond to even more of your comments. Kind of like a mailbag column. So yes, I actually sat down and wrote something for a change. I picked out a few of your comments from the past week, responded to them directly. You can click the top link down in the description below to give it a read. Please read it. Check for typos, spelling mistakes. Let me know what I did wrong. I'm going to try to make that a regular piece for dailydownforce.com going forward, so be sure to check it out. But here on the show today, we have one big comment, big question that we're going to respond to. It's not really a question, actually, more of a request from Steve58. You should make a video covering all chartered cars locked up for next year and the ones that aren't and who could be in them. Got a few little thumbs up there. That is a big topic. Steve with the extra E in there. Though it is getting smaller and smaller by the day as Joe Gibbs Racing confirms Denny Hamlin, Legacy Motor Club signs John Hunter. But there are still several chartered Cup Series entries that do not have known plans for next season. So let's break some of those down here today, beginning with Cred Racing. Let's start with their number 16 car. It is not guaranteed that AJ Allmendinger will return. He recently was on SiriusXM NASCAR radio and said this, quote, I will probably do whatever they, Cred, wants me to do. There's a good chance I'm back in the 16 Cup car next year, but there's also a chance I could be back in the Xfinity Series too. It's whatever they think is best for the organization overall. At the end of the day, I don't really have a preference. AJ Allmendinger, ultimate team player. Hey, and congrats to AJ and his wife Tara. They welcomed their son into the world earlier this week. Arrow James Allmendinger. Whoa, that is a cool name. Look, Allmendinger has taken a step back from the Cup Series to go Xfinity racing before. If I had to guess, that's what he deep down would like to do at this stage in his career, but he's the ultimate team player. If Kaulig wants him in the Cup Series because he is a Cup Series caliber talent, then that's likely what he will do. I do believe Austin Hill announcing his return to RCR, I think that shook things up at Kaulig. I thought that a couple weeks ago when Chris Rice tweeted, "Wait, what?" in response to Austin Hill's announcement. Lee Spencer, reporter for CatchFence.com, was on a PRN last week, and she said she was told Austin Hill was going to drive the 16 Cup car and Allmendinger was going to go back down to Xfinity. But now, of course, with Austin Hill staying at RCR, there are potentially 2 open Kaulig Cup Series seats. And Lee Spencer mentioned that she's heard both Daniel Hemrick and Ty Dillon's names mentioned.
Hearing that the Kaulig ride potentially would be Hemrick or Ty Dillon. Yeah. This is what we're hearing. Nothing set in stone.
Neither of those picks would be flashy. Daniel Hemrick is an Xfinity Series champion, but I think he's underwhelmed in Kaulig Xfinity equipment the past 2 seasons. But hey, he has Cup Series experience. He's a good, solid veteran driver. I'd understand the Daniel Hemrick pick. The Ty Dillon pick perplexes me. I get that he has some sponsorship, some funding behind him, but I mean, he's proven these last couple of years that, he may be a fine driver. He's not that guy. I don't believe he's going to get the most out of his equipment. So I would hate to see Kaulig, a team that seemed to be on the rise just a couple of years ago, suddenly falter and stagnate by signing, Ty Dillon to drive the 16 car. I mean, that 16 almost made the playoffs this year on points with AJ Allmendinger. Beyond the 16, though, Kaulig Racing also has the 31 car to fill since Justin Haley is leaving for Rick Ware. I have no idea who could get this 31 car. Team president Chris Rice has teased that it may be a surprising choice. He said on SiriusXM NASCAR radio 2 weeks ago, quote, "The number 31 car is pretty much done. I think everybody is going to be pretty surprised with what we're doing with that." Yeah, I have no idea what they're going to do. In the back of my head, I still think there's a chance they'll sign multiple drivers to drive that car. Who, where, when, I have no idea. What I do know, though, is that Austin Hill, we're staying with RCR, I think threw a wrench into Kaulig Racing's plans. At this point, I'd be wasting my breath trying to speculate and guess exactly what Kaulig Racing is going to do. I've seen your guesses. I've seen a lot of Noah Gregson's, Matt DiBenedetto's thrown around. Anything can happen, I guess, but I don't know. I'd cross those 2 off my list personally. Let's talk about the Stewart-Haas Racing number 10 car. Eric Almirola has not made any definitive decision one way or the other, although recent rumors and rumblings point towards this being his final season. I really haven't heard of any other likely replacements. Zane Smith is the name that on paper makes the most sense. He's been with Ford the past couple of seasons. This would be a chance for Ford to keep him at least for 1 more year. But Zane Smith is a total wild card. All we know is that he is now a true free agent. I heard from one person that he was bought out of his front row Ford contract. I don't know if that's exactly what happened or what went down behind the scenes, but what we do know is that front row has publicly said that Zane is free to negotiate with whomever he wants. I'm still very high on Zane Smith's talent, but I'm really not sure which team he fits in with the best. The 10-car Stewart-Haas Racing on paper makes the most sense, but even that I'm not totally sold on. Corey LaJoie signed a multi-year extension to remain with Spire Motorsports, but the number 77 car is wide open. Ty Dillon could remain with the team, but personally, I'd be surprised if that happened. Again, it's been rumored that he could drive for Kaulig Racing. Carson Hocevar is the name that comes up the most in rumors when discussing Spire. A lot of folks have tried to put him in the Junior Motorsports number 8 car next year, but I'll be honest, I don't think he has enough sponsorship for that. Spire Motorsports, yeah, it's a Cup Series car, but they at least have Gainbridge throwing a ton of support behind them now. Spire may be able to afford to just go get the best young talent on the market, and Carson Hocevar is a great young talent. Now, maybe to borrow an NFL phrase, I think Carson Hocevar is the definition of a boom or bust prospect. He has a really high ceiling. We've seen great things from him in trucks this year. He's won a few races, but we've also seen great things in Cup. In his debut at Gateway, he ran top 20 before his brakes exploded. Is what it is. He backed that performance up, though, with another top 20 run at Darlington in the Southern 500 in a car that's been a disaster this season. Last week was very, very impressive, but there are still some maturity questions. Carson Hocevar is really young, right? He's, I think, 20 years old. And, in the past, he's made some dumb bonehead moves on the racetrack. Heck, even this year at Martinsville in the spring, didn't he try to right hook somebody? Huge potential upside for Carson Hocevar, but there are some concerns. He's 20 years old. Again, boom or bust. I wouldn't blame Spire, though, if they took a chance on him. Couple more teams, Rick Ware Racing. We know Justin Haley is going over there. We don't know for sure if he'll drive the 15 or the 51, but okay, there's one Rick Ware car likely available. I don't know what they're going to do. I know there's probably a few drivers that are eyeing that seat. They like Justin Haley. They like the RFK Alliance. This year, it's been kind of a revolving door. JJ Yaley, Brennan Poole, Ryan Newman has driven the 51. I don't know what Rick Ware is going to do. This one's kind of a wild card. And so is the 78, Live Fast Motorsports. There was a photo making the rounds I saw on Twitter, or X, I don't know what to call it anymore, of Sheldon Creed's 78 car that he's racing this weekend at Kansas. Being prepared in the RCR shop. And interestingly enough, you can also see Ty Dillon's car in the background, but we're going to ignore that. I don't know of any big long-term alliance between RCR and Live Fast Motorsports, but I think we talked about this recently. I don't know exactly what Live Fast Motorsports' point situation looks like, but NASCAR does have a rule where if you finish in the, I think, bottom 3 in owners' points 3 years in a row, NASCAR has the right to repossess your charter. Live Fast has not been good last year. They've not been good this year. If they have another bad season in 2024, I don't know what their future looks like. Just being honest. So maybe they are trying something out with RCR, trying to get some more technical support, get their help with preparing their cars. And maybe that means a guy like Sheldon Creed goes and drives for them next year. It's an RCR dude. RCR would be invested in his future and his performance and his development. Maybe that would be a great partnership for Live Fast Motorsports. I don't know. That I'm just shooting in the dark. That photo was kind of interesting this week. I mean, I'm not surprised that this week Live Fast and RCR are working together. We've seen in the past Rick Ware has worked with Stuart Haas for one-offs. That's not uncommon. I'm just wondering about big picture. Could this be a bigger long-term alliance in the future? I haven't heard anything. I'd be a little surprised, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. Anyway, those are the only chartered entries that we know don't have a set plan for next season. There are a few other rumors out there. I don't know that Ryan Preece actually has a contract for next year. I think there've been some rumblings that he's about to sign an official extension. I think it was at Daytona a few weeks ago. I heard him say that there's a very good chance he stays with SHR next year. So I don't know what that means. There might be another car out there I'm not thinking of that, all of a sudden is open, is available. But these are the teams, these are the cars we currently know about. You never know. 2311 could buy someone's charter and open a third car. Trackhouse could do the same thing. But for now, this is what we know. That's going to do it, though, for this episode. Thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you want to hear me, or at least read me directly responding to more of your comments, you can click that top link down in the description. It'll take you to Daily Downforce, where you'll find my new Out of the Crowd mailbag segment. Thank you so much for watching this video. Leave a comment down below. Give me your thoughts on some of these open seats and potential free agents. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, a big thank you to my Patreon supporters for your very generous support. Have a wonderful weekend, y'all. I will see you Sunday night after Kansas, the Cup race. It's a triple header. Trucks are tonight. Xfinity has their regular season finale tomorrow. So will be a lot to talk about Sunday evening and going on into next week. Have a wonderful weekend, folks. I will see you again soon.